Good afternoon. Welcome to Who's Tom and Dick? With your hosts, Martin Weavers and Patrick Mortimer. Hello, Martin. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm really good, Pat. Looking forward to another show.
Yeah, good. 1st of March.
Is it?
That's come around quick.
Oh, I know.
You look surprised.
Yes, I do. You know the date.
Yeah, well, I'm organised, you see.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the only thing I haven't written down. If the people could see this, I've got loads of paper around me, but I haven't got the date.
Right,
so,
well, there you go.
Well done.
Friday the 1st of March.
Yeah.
So are we officially into the spring?
Well, I've got some daffodils in the garden growing.
Right, yeah.
So that must... And me rhubarb. God.
Right. Yeah, I saw your rhubarb as I came in.
I know. It's just going everywhere.
We're in for some cracking crumble this season, I think.
Yeah, I love crumble.
Yeah, Wendy loves the rhubarb. I don't like rhubarb.
Yeah.
But, so 1st of March, are we officially in the spring? What do they call it in America? The fall is autumn.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
We should have done our research.
Well, we're in the spring. I know it's the fall, the summer, the winter.
We don't know the other season.
No, that's the statins we're on, you see.
Yes, that's right. That's our memory. That's why I didn't know the date.
Oh, right, okay.
What is it?
So we're catching up on our last podcast, which was Joe Pasquale.
Yeah.
How did that go, do you think?
Oh, my God. I've always wanted to interview a celebrity. Anyway, we're going to talk about Joe first, but I thought he was so open and honest. And I felt the more we sort of spoke to him, I think with your flying and his love of flying, I mean, you could really tell, couldn't you, how much he loved flying and planes and everything. Yeah. And I think he took to us when he said, you know, have you got everything you guys want? And I think he would have stayed even longer.
He came into your kitchen and... he's almost at home straight away, but he's at 110% all the time, isn't he?
I know. And I didn't expect him to stay that long, but of course, we never mentioned it, but he got lost on the way in because where I lived down a little lane, and that's the nursery rhyme, isn't it? There once was a little boy who lived down the lane. Yeah. But anyway, it's not me. But I lived down a lane, and if you have to turn left at these set of dustbins, I always tell people, look for the dustbins and turn left. Well, he went straight past, and he ended up at the church on a bend. And of course, he rang me and said, "I'm at a church." He said, and I thought, "Well, which church?" But we finally got him. And what did you think to him?
Well, I think he was a breath of fresh air, really. You know, he. You asked him a question and off he went. You know, there was no sort of stuttering or anything, just 100% all the time.
No, and exclusivity, is that a word?
Exclusivity.
Yeah, exclusivity. Yeah. With the show that he was doing at the London Palladium.
Yeah, that's on Saturday the 30th of March with Bradley Walsh, Brian Connolly, Shane Ritchie and Joe Pasquale, of course, at the London Palladium. And we tried to get tickets for it as soon as they were released. And luckily, they've all sold out already.
Yeah.
I think there's one up in the gods somewhere for sale still on its own. So if you want to be a Billy No Mates,
but that's still go. That's my ideal show of current comedians who I really, really like.
Yeah, well, you're not going.
No. No. I mean, I had, as we mentioned in the interview, and you did. We've both seen him, haven't we?
Oh, many times,
but it was brilliant, and so we have to write a letter back to him to thank him, won't we?
Yes, we will, most definitely.
And
asked him if there's any tickets going.
And will Bradley Walsh come on next?
Have to get in before the 30th of March, though.
Yeah, so, that's right, yeah.
But, brilliant. Looking down at my pad here...
Because Patrick makes all the notes for the show, you see. I just sit here and do bits of talking.
Yeah. You've got a pile of notes there.
I know. He's more organised than me.
Looking at my pad, you've just been to the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell me what's up or what you've been there for.
Nothing's up.
Good.
It's just the general stuff, really. I had to go in for a CT scan on the other week, or the other day. Sorry, not the other week. And because it all goes together, I go for a CT scan. then I have to go for a blood test, and then I have to go in and see my oncologist, Dr. Patterson, which I'm going to go and see next week. So I can mention more, hopefully, on my cancer, and hopefully it's shrunk even more. The only thing was I did have to come off at Christmas for one. I forget. I mean, how long, can you remember? How long?
6 weeks, wasn't it?
Was it 6 weeks? Yeah, something like that. I tell you what, this is shocking. Memories is shocking nowadays.
Statins.
Yeah. So anyway, I came off it for. I think that was
6 weeks.
I think it was a whole month. Yeah, because it was to the day. I think less.
Right.
So I broke it on the 10th. And I think it was the 9th I saw him, and he said, "Oh, go back on them."
Yeah, I think he said originally 6 weeks.
That's right. Yeah, he did. He said about 6 weeks. But anyway, so I'm going to see him. So I'll hopefully be able to tell you that my cancer has certainly not grown anymore, or shrunk a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And then also this week, if I live at that Bury Hospital, if I'm not interviewing someone there, then I'm always there. I've got to do this, it's for the diabetes.
Right.
And I have to sit in a chair there, and they take my blood, and then I have to sit for an hour, and then I have to wait for another hour, and they take the blood again.
Yeah.
And then they finally let you go. So what about you and all your...
Well, as you know, I've been waiting for a stress test. I think the consultant or the doctor applied for my stress test just before Christmas, or was it January? I can't remember. Statins. Memory. I think we call memory statins.
We'll do a whole show on statins.
Yeah, that sounds good if we can remember it.
Yeah.
So I had a stress test. Well, as you know, over Christmas I had the dreaded COVID, and that almost knocked me out for a month.
Yeah.
And sod's law, I get the appointment come through, and there's cancellation. Of course, I don't want to miss it. So yes, I say yes to it, but I haven't done any exercise or anything for that month, simply because I was knocked out with COVID. So I had 4 days, immediately got back out and started to do a bit of walking and that, and tried to get back to where I was. And then I had the stress test on the Friday. So I went in there. I got there an hour early. I like to be there early. And luckily enough, the previous patient didn't turn up. So I actually went in 45 minutes early, which was good. They wired me up to an ECG and said they're going to do a minimum of 6 to 9 minutes on the treadmill. I can give up at any time I like. And while I'm doing that, they're going to be monitoring the heart to see if there's any changes in the electrical circuitry within the heart. So after being wired up, it's strange they haven't got wireless pads that they can put on you now, but there's all these wires everywhere hanging there.
And they're heavy as well.
They are heavy, yeah. So I jumped on the treadmill. I stepped on the treadmill, and they started it off very easy. And over the course of the next 9 minutes, they slowly increased the speed and increased the gradient. Towards the 9 minutes time, which was what I was aiming for, I wanted to get to the end of the test. They was talking to me, and they were talking to me as if I was just sitting in a chair. And they'd found out that I'd previously been an architect. And while I was running on this treadmill, or jogging on this treadmill at the time, one of the guys said, "Oh, you're an architect. I want to take a beam out. Can you help with that? Can you give me any advice?" I said, "Well, I will when I can talk."
Yeah.
I
was wondering how you was feeling on it.
I know, but at that time I was panting and sweating and running and just about breathing. And he asked me if I could help him remove a beam from his house. So anyway, I finished the treadmill test, and I meet the criteria to show that my heart was behaving as it should. So that's a good thing.
But you've done them before when you had to pass your pilot's testing.
That's right, I have, yes. But because I've been having this pain in my chest, the doctor immediately sent me for a stress test to rule out the heart, because we think, and we pretty much know now, that it's down to me my hiatus hernia that I've got, along with all the other complaints. So all good as far as the heart is concerned. I'm still on track. And now we've increased the dose of tablets for the hiatus hernia to try and keep that under control.
So, because you weren't on too many, I thought you was on loads of tablets. But so how many?
Well, I'm on 6 a day.
Yeah.
And the hiatus hernia one, but that's just been increased in dosage. I used to take one every other day, now I take one a day.
Yeah.
That seems to have helped quite a lot. So I still get the heartburn, But when you've got heart disease, heartburn is very much mimics what the pain of heart attacks can feel like.
Oh,
so you've got to be
right.
careful you distinguish between the two.
Mm.
But with heart disease, the pain normally goes away after 15 to 20 minutes.
Right, yeah.
If a sort of stable angina. But with heartburn, that can last anything from 10 minutes to, a couple of days.
Yeah.
So...
I know I had a little bit in my chest, and because I get like the Gaviscon kind of
That's
stuff.
right, yeah, I have that still.
And but we've just moved.
Yeah.
And I left it as a box of it in my other house. And I was here one night, and I thought, I can't. It was half an hour away, and I thought I can't go over there. But by the time I got there the next day, because I was still sort of clearing little bits and all that, it had gone. Yeah. But yeah, it's it's a horrible feeling.
If you get that, the best thing to do is try and drink some really hot water.
Oh, right.
Sip it. Obviously, don't gulp it because you'll burn your insides out. But drink just hot water. Yeah, and that helps soothe it.
Yeah, I'm on another tablet which I didn't tell you about. Just had a gum infection, believe it or not. The dentist reckoned because I'm moving, or I've finally moved now. He reckons that because I was moving, I was low.
Right.
In myself.
Right.
And all that with all the the pressure of all. Yeah. Well, it is pretty hectic. When you think I've got to do this, do that. My gum swelled up on my face.
Right.
So and that puffed up my face as well. And so he's given me another tablet now. So I'm actually at this moment off my loratinib.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because I can't take it with this one. Oh, that's the first time. That's right. 6 weeks ago, my gum blew up.
Yeah.
And they said, you can have these antibiotics. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And you can carry on with the loratinib. So I thought I was going to be able to with these, but apparently I can't. So I've got some nurses ringing me up. Mm-hmm. They said how many days you're on it for. And it's 5 days. So I think it's tomorrow I finish.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting a call for that. So that was another extra tablet I'm taking on top of all the others. So
is that one your cancer drug, the
loratinib?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the cancer one. So I'm off that because of these. These must be he said these are really, really good and they'll get rid of it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then I've got to talk to my oncologist on when I see him next about having the tooth taken out.
Right.
Because at the moment, all I've got is just a filling on top of the tooth. So the tooth's got to come out. Yeah. Which is going to be a thing in itself. I might have to go into hospital to have it done.
Right.
But if there's a way that I can have it done in the chair, then he can do it. Mm-hmm. But either way, I have to talk to my oncologist. So this is going to be another thing that I'm, going
to go through.
Yeah, I know. It's just, having the cancer, it's not as easy as just going to the dentist, having a filling, or taking the filling wasn't so bad, but taking a tooth out.
Yeah, because I'd probably have to have anaesthetic with that one, yeah.
Well, precisely, yeah. And, I suppose he's worried what could happen to me. Yeah. Because of all it's the loratinib that's doing it. Yeah. That, is the key to everything. If I wasn't on that, I think they wouldn't worry so much. Yeah. Although I did have to tell the dentist every single other, drug I'm on. Yeah. So
well, after the podcast, if we go into your new shed, I'll have a go at it for you if you like.
Yeah, I've got a vice.
Have you?
Yeah.
Put your chin in there and got some good pliers.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we do it just by the door here.
Well, I mean, with the dentistry in the UK and the NHS at the moment, people are struggling to get to the dentist, aren't they?
Oh, tell me about it.
There's queues and there's people been on the TV actually extracting their own teeth.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, haven't you seen that?
No.
Yeah, there's one old boy on there the other night with one tooth left. I think he took everything out and realised the one that was giving him pain, he left it in. But he had one tooth at the front of his mouth and he couldn't get an appointment, so he extracted them himself.
Well, it's so hard. I mean, this is to the American listeners, that to get a national health thing here in England. And because I think they go private in America anyway, don't they?
Yeah, they do. As part of their health plan, I think.
Because we've got the national health and it's obviously cheaper, I rang up my old dentist that I used to go to when I was originally in Sudbury 11 years ago.
Right.
Which I think I probably went there longer than that. and they said, sorry, we only keep your dental records for 11 years. So I can't go to that dentist. I tried to get into that dentist in Sudbury.
Yeah.
But they said, no, sorry, we can't do it.
Okay.
So I went private, but I think it was something like £67 just to go there.
Yeah.
And then, it's ridiculous the money you're paying.
Well, I mean, that's one of the areas where perhaps the NHS lets us down, but it's not the NHS per se. That's the dental side of things. So generally, the NHS are absolutely superb.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's just the system. So it's not actually the NHS. I think it's just the system. The dentists not seeing people because they're seeing all the private people because the NHS doesn't pay the dentists enough, apparently, to see NHS patients.
Oh, right.
So I think that's why there's a backlog of people with teeth problems.
Well, also I got the prescription from the dentist to for the pain and the swelling and all that. So I go, luck would have it, there was a chemist next door.
Yeah.
So I went there and took the prescription in, and I said, I've just been to the dentist and they've given me this. Yeah, wait 5 minutes. I waited. £10, please. I said, I don't have to pay for my prescriptions. They said, you do for this because it's private.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah. Was it a private dentist you saw then? Or was it
private.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Yeah, private dentist.
If you go and get private consultations and they prescribe drugs, you have to pay for them.
I know. I didn't. I thought because, over 60, we don't pay, do we?
No, I've had that same problem.
Yeah, so I coughed up my tenner anyway, so...
You wouldn't have done nothing about your tooth if you didn't know, would you?
No.
Tenner?
Well, the thing is, the doctor, when I had the first infection about 6 weeks ago, she said to me, I'll give you a prescription for antibiotics. She said, but you've got to promise me that you go to the dentist. So I said, yeah, of course I'll go to the dentist. And then, of course, it swelled up. So then I went to the dentist.
Yeah.
But,
it's strange that the dentist didn't actually stock the antibiotics because my dentist does. When he issues a prescription for the antibiotics, they've got them behind the counter.
Oh, right. Well, it's the chemist next door, I think that was established there years before the dentist. So
right.
I suppose they just, send people next door.
Yeah.
But no, the costs are really high. But then I look back to the treatments I'm getting for my cancer. And the money that
it's costing,
would cost me.
Yeah.
So we're lucky to have our NHS. Yeah.
I think with the American health system, obviously they're paying into this health system all the time. And the service they're getting is, I don't know whether it's any good or not, but everything's barcoded. So, when a patient goes in, the first thing they have is a wristband put on their wrist with a barcode on it.
Right,
And then from then on in, you're basically paying, or your health insurance is paying.
Yeah.
Whereas our system is, provided by the government.
Because your son's in America now.
Yeah, that's right. And it's absolutely brilliant. There's none of that. You don't feel as if you're sitting there costing your money. In America, if you're ill, it could bankrupt people.
Well, I might have to move doctors.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you've moved house.
Yes, I know. So I've got to...
So you're going into that. That was the plug into moving house. You've got to move doctors.
Well, no. I'm actually right on the very border of it all. So right. I'm hoping I can stay where I am.
So you've got a choice of two, basically. Suffolk or Norfolk.
I'm in Suffolk.
Yeah.
I've moved from Norfolk.
Yeah.
But I've only moved 5 miles.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, when I went up to the doctors, they said, oh, no, you've got to move. You've got to move doctors. So anyway, I hope I don't, but we will see.
Yeah. Thanks for coming to Wendy's 60th on Sunday.
We loved it.
60.
Yeah.
My wife was 60 on Sunday. Mm-hmm. I said 60. If you're listening, Wendy, you're 60.
Yes.
Did anybody hear that?
And she doesn't look it.
Oh.
She looks 70. No, you don't, Wendy, you don't.
Yeah. It was a bit of a shock because one of Wendy's best friends got asked if she was her mother.
Really?
Yeah, that was a bit embarrassing, really. But
oh God!
And she doesn't look anything like her mother, or look anything like her age either.
It was a good party. It was a good party.
That would have put her at 83.
Oh God! And thank you for the cake.
You're welcome. Don't choke on it, whatever you do. So there you go.
Yeah, no, it was good. We enjoyed it, and my wife thoroughly enjoyed it. But
Yeah. Tell us about your house move then. How did that go?
Smoothly. smoothly.
Right.
I'm now waiting. This is a crucial part now. Now, what we do in England, I don't know what they do in America, but you move if you move house, and because I rent, you see, I came back to England, and I thought, shall I buy a house? And I thought no, and then we were going to buy houses and do them up, and so in the end we decided to rent. Well, of course, you have to pay deposits. So the first one we paid 6 months up front. Plus a deposit. So we started paying after 6 months, and the deposit was in the bank with this holding company. So now I've moved, and I've had to fill up every single screw hole, and you paint over the bits as well, and you just have to leave it neat and tidy.
Yeah.
So I'm now at the point where I literally signed my contract over 2 days ago, and the guy who owns the place now has to go in and look at it. And then he'll say whether he wants to deduct some money for things he thinks he's got to get done.
Right.
But I mean, we tried to go over things, but there was one thing in this rental thing that I know it's in my contract, but I never knew this. If you've got an oil tank for your heating, which we did, I never realised that they take a photograph of how much oil you've got in your tank, and then when you leave, you have to leave at least that amount.
Right.
I know you do this with a hire car when you hire a car and you have to put the same amount of petrol, but I must have missed the small print on that one because I didn't know. I thought if you moved to a house and your tank was full, that was a bonus for you, But and if you haven't got any, bad luck, you've got to order some oil.
Yeah.
But no, I had to. Make sure I'd got enough. Luck would have it, I'd got enough.
Yeah.
But the one thing I haven't got, which I might have to pay for, is the oil thing that you press into the to give you the gauge.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. That then registers to the tank.
Yeah.
So I might have to buy another one of those just to put on, to cover it.
Did they have one when you moved in?
Yeah.
And was it working?
It was working, but it broke.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay.
So, of course, because it broke, I got rid of it, not knowing. So what I should have done is reported that it wasn't working, and they could have got. But that's hindsight now that I realise that I should have done that.
You haven't made them aware of that. You're hoping they don't spot it, is that okay?
No, they have spotted it.
Oh, they haven't
got it. They haven't got it. But
right.
Yeah. So we moved actually in the house we're in now, where we're talking now in my kitchen. Which we've made a little studio of, haven't we? Mm-hmm. And so we moved in here 2 weeks ago, but it was only Saturday that my wife's gone to working like mad, and I've just been, filling little holes and things like that, doing all little jobs that I could do, And
your two mates from the old band have been round helping you hard, haven't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they moved me because I can't lift things nowadays. So they moved every single thing for me. So I do want to thank Les and Richard for actually moving me, because Richard's got a huge big trailer that he moves his cars on because he's into cars and all that.
Yeah.
And I just thought of asking him, and he said, yeah, of course, we'll do it for you. And I didn't have to lift a single thing. So
right. Do you think your health suffered while this was all going on for 4 weeks?
This is what the dentist reckoned.
Oh, right.
This is what he said.
This has been brought on through stress then?
Yeah, stress, yeah. So, and the infection, that's where that came. So the answer to that is yes, but in my mind, no.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that. But if he's an expert, so he must know.
Right,
but, so it's...
Because if your mind feels all right, you forget about the illness, don't you? And you're just crashing on regardless.
Yeah, but we really love the new house. We're sitting in the kitchen area now and it's in sort of in the 70s.
One thing you had in your old house was how can I put this politely? Butterflies everywhere.
Wait for that. Wait for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be up.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's probably taking you all week to fill the holes of those old butterflies.
I've had a little pot of polyfiller in my hands and my blade, and I've been scraping through that, and filling those holes up. There was a lot of butterflies. They were stapled on, you see. So But we will be putting them back here. So
Right.
my little grandson Billy, bless him, he came and stayed one night, and I said, I need to get someone to take all these butterflies off for me. So he said, Grandad, I'll do it for you. I said, no, darling. I said, you can't get up there and do all that. He did though. He got on the step ladders and everything, and he took every single one down for me.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, he hardly broke one. There was one with a wing torn, and I think that was actually torn when I put it up, and so I put 2 staples on it.
Right.
But he done a great job.
Oh,
So
excellent.
saved his old. Well, I can't do it nowadays.
No.
But so saved me getting someone to do it.
Yeah. Velcro. What a rip-off. Why don't you use that? Self-adhesive Velcro strips this time. Then all you're going to do is pull the paint off, and that's...
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got to get the Velcro thing off the wall, so which you might...
Hopefully you're not going to move from this house.
No, we haven't got any plans to move from here.
So it'd be a lot easier to put them up with something like that. There must be something out there that's easier than drilling holes now. Or are they heavy?
What, the butterflies?
Yeah.
No, they're light. No, they're light as a feather.
Well, a Velcro strip or something, sure.
Yeah. I mean, someone said blue tack. But
the trouble is with that, eventually they do fall off, don't they?
Yeah.
Anything with a bit of weight.
And you know how many there were.
Yeah, I know.
So, because
slam the door.
Because Linny put them all up.
Butterflies.
Linny put them all up, and I had a little idea of that. We have a bunch of flowers on the side, so I got on Amazon, and I bought a bunch of flowers. So that was my contribution to it. So I put that on the sideboard, and it looked like the butterflies were flying to the flowers. So
I didn't notice that.
No, see, it's all thought out of. This is
Can you buy flowers?
Not just a random butterfly here and there.
You can buy flowers on Amazon, can you?
Yeah. Well, they're not real ones.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because I only like ones that really do look like the flowers.
Yeah.
So
I knew you get most things on Amazon. Somebody said to me the other day, I've bought a chicken and an egg from Amazon, and I'm going to wait to see which one arrives first. Anyway, that probably brings us, to your joke of the week, Martin.
Not the joke of the week.
Yes, we better have something.
Well, it's a sad one, the first.
We got trouble last week, didn't we, for not having a joke of the week?
Yeah, Hazel Wood said that although Joe was brilliant, she missed my joke of the week.
Yeah.
So
we never got any more comments about it, but there you go.
I've got to confess, I spoke to your grandchildren at the birthday party.
Yeah.
And one of them has given me a joke.
That must be Alice.
It was Alice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do my one first, and then I'm going to do Alice's second.
Okay.
Because they're quite short.
Yep.
And the first one, as I said, is quite sad because the man who invented the crossword has just died. I can't remember his name, but it's P something T something R. Well, that was my joke.
I thought you were going to say they buried him 3 across and 6 down.
No. But this is Alice's joke. Right?
Yeah.
Why do squirrels swim on their back in a swimming pool?
I don't know.
It's to keep their nuts dry.
We got to have applause for that one, haven't we?
And how old is Alice?
She's
7 years old.
7 years old, yeah. She got a rapturous applause at the party for that, didn't she?
She did, yeah. And I'll tell you what, if you get in trouble, if anyone moans about me saying that certain word, blame Alice.
Blame Alice, yeah. It did start off as peanuts dry, but she left the P off the front.
Well, Jack shouted it, didn't he, before the punchline?
Right, But there you go. Do you know we've got to the end of our show?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I tell you what, when I just sit here chatting to you, the time flies.
Yeah, I know. So, but it's been great catching up. And our last chat we had was before Joe Pasquale, and we had a lot of good feedback on that. So, we'll do it again.
And next time we'll have to tell everybody who we've got on the chat show.
Of course we will. So we wish everybody well.
Yeah, have a good week, everyone.
Yep, and we'll see you back here next week.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Stay safe. Bye.